Greetings, family. You are listening to WHCR. I'm your host, Pojanee Fleury, and you're listening to PJ's show. Today, we have a great guest on with us. We have MORY KOUYATE, who is the founder and the president of the African Immigrants Commission of New York and Connecticut. We're going to have an amazing show because this is a very important organization. And also, I'm a part of it. So I'm very enthusiastic about it. I have, been waiting to bring Maury on to the show since it started because the organization does amazing work. And I am so excited that we're finally able to put it a part of this platform, let you guys know about what we call AIC. And, hopefully you want to get involved and support the mission. So I'm going to allow Brother MORY KOUYATE to introduce himself, and then we'll get into AIC.
Hello, everybody. Thank you, PJ, for inviting me. It's a great honor to be on your platform and to talk about the community, to talk about African Immigrants Commission, to talk about myself and my contributions to the community and how best to move the community forward. Thank you for having me. My name is MORY KOUYATE. I'm the chair of the African Immigrants Commission of New York and Connecticut. And we try to be the voice of the immigrant community. We try to advocate on behalf of the immigrant community. And we bring resources to the community through workshops like financial literacy workshop, immigration law workshop, family law workshops. We also do arts and culture promotion, African arts and culture by organizing events such as African Heritage Month. And soon we're going to be doing some events during the summer to mark and to promote the African culture also. So these are some of the things that we do in the community. And I'll be glad to elaborate more about everything. Thank you so much.
Yes, brother, you are so welcome. So, yes, there you have it. African Immigrants Commission of New York and Connecticut. Okay, a 501c3 organization, nonprofit, doing a lot of organizing within the African community and on behalf of the African immigrant community. A very specific community, which is very large, right? We know that in New York and Connecticut, there is a large amount of African immigrants, right? That is really the part of the fabric of New York, especially New York City. And it's really something to be celebrated, just be aware of contributions and things like that. So to have an organization like this is very powerful. Like you said, we work on the advocacy side in terms of what the needs are, and then also the celebration of the culture and the diversity of the people. So it's been a great experience. When was AIC founded?
We launched on December 25th, 2018. So since then, we have done so much work. We have done many workshops, and we have organized protests. And this year will be our 5th year to organize African Heritage Month parade and festival. So we've been extremely active, and I wanted to take my time to thank PJ because since she came on board, you changed our communication, and in order for an organization to function, you have to have somebody, a competent communication director. So since you got on board, everything changed. We're able to communicate our flyers, our events, and it's been much easier. So you've been invaluable to the team, and I can't imagine, not having you there. to advocate on behalf of the community. You definitely make it easier for us, and you contributing to our community. It's the African community, Asian community, it's all the same basically. So I don't see any difference. For me, it's we all bring different experiences to the table, and so that we can better advocate, for our community. So since December 18th, um, since December 25th, 2018, we launched. So, we've been around.
Yes, absolutely. So quite some time here from 2018. So, pre-pandemic, of course, when things were very different. And we go back even farther than that. We worked on parades and festivals in the Bronx and Harlem. I want to say going back maybe even 2014, 2015. And we also collaborated. You brought me on at ACR TV, African Caribbean Radio and Television, ACR TV. And we were working on the show. I was there in the beginning with the brainstorming sessions of the show Tum Tum. And there's been a long working history with just you and myself, and of course other members, our mutual colleagues from your community, that just being involved with projects with you, I was fortunate to meet and work with. And so we are community people. We go way back. So when you asked me to be a part of AIC, and if I would be the communications director, of course, I said yes. I support the work that you and your colleagues and your community members have been doing. Some people would say, what's a, and I use the term lightly, Haitian American, right? Just saying that I'm Haitian born in America, but I always like to say I'm 100% Haitian, just transported. But it's not all the time you will see someone of Caribbean heritage in supporting so much in a African organization, African-based organization. But I've always felt very welcomed. I've always felt supported in my role as well. Just like you said, so many great things, and I appreciate that. I always feel very appreciated. And there's people from different walks of life that are part of AIC. It's a great team. It has been from the very beginning a strong team. It's been teamwork. So let's talk about the team members a little bit.
No, absolutely. You being in the community is a testament of your willingness to work with the African community. Like you said, it's been a really long time since the days of the Bronx Parade. With everybody that was there. We did that parade for many years before we transitioned. So it's been over 10 to 15 years basically.
Yeah.
So that's how long we've been actually volunteering for the community. And in many cases, we are not getting paid. We don't get paid for any of these things that we are doing. This is what's really amazing about
Mhm.
the work that we're doing. We all have our day job, we are teachers, we are, do different jobs. But
Yeah.
eventually we all come together to do this for the community. And I always say, if we don't do it, nobody else is gonna do it. There's a clear vacuum of things that we do that are needed. If we don't step up to do it, no one else is gonna do it. And in some cases, if we're not doing it, then it's not done. So that's why it is so amazing. That we coming together to do this work. It's an honorable thing because we all come together not thinking about money, not thinking about, oh yeah, I'm gonna get paid for this. I'm not gonna get paid for this. We literally volunteering our time and energy and
Yeah.
and to do the work for the community, to organize protests, to organize festivals. Everybody knows, if you have organized a festival already, how much energy it takes to organize a festival. So it's really amazing. So then we have, he said to talk about some of our members. We have our VP of VP is Menepele J No One. He's a good leader. He's been there to support whatever it is that AIC has been doing. He's been contributing and making things happen. He's been a great VP. And we also have our Secretary General, who's Rokia. Rokia has been there since the beginning, and she's been volunteering every day to, during the events. She signs, documents. She processes different things. She processes payments. She takes the minutes, and sometimes send out the meeting notices. So she's been very helpful. And we also have Tanti Pupejara from Mali. So the amazing thing about the team is everybody's from different countries of Africa, and sometimes in the US also. So I'm the only person that's from Guinea, in the whole team. That's what's really amazing. So the vice president is from Liberia, and Rokia is from Ivory Coast, actually. And Tanti Pupe is from Mali. She's our treasurer. She's been there, since day one, contributing intellectually and supporting our project. And then we have, Tanti Fanta. Tanti Fanta Kouyate is a journalist. I'll say she's one of the top, journalists, that speak Malinke, or that does the news in Malinke and tells stories, of mundane the past empires, what is the meaning of a last name like Kouyate or Jara. She discusses everything on her shows. She recently just got a new show. We have a new deal with Millennium TV, so she started that new show. And we also have Mohamed Fofana is from Sierra Leone. And he's the compliance director. He makes sure that everybody's doing their work. And we also have Tanti Fatumata. She's from Senegal, actually. So she's with our education commissioner. So she's been there day one, physically being there, supporting the events, supporting our mission. And we also have so many people. For now, I'm just gonna stop there for now, so that we can get in more stories.
Yes, yes. I definitely wanted to talk about the African Heritage Month because it's a very unique platform. It only exists in New York City right now. I remember, so again, way back, like you said, we're going back 15, maybe a little bit before that, before I got on. But when I first came on to the activities surrounding the African immigrant community, there was there was advocacy for this month. People wanted to see this happen. People organized to bring about an African Heritage Month. And I was able to be there to see the first month be implemented. And like you said, we were doing these things on our own time, sometimes putting in our own budget, putting in from our budget into the budget for these activities. And now we have Mayor Eric Adams that is having an African Heritage Month event at Gracie Mansion. Okay, I believe he's done two already, right? So, the years that he's been there. So that's going to be a tradition that will uphold after, because once you implement something like that, it would be very hard for New York City for the next mayor to say, "Oh, we're not going to do it." So it has been achieved, and so it was a milestone and a stepping stone. So please talk about what AIC has done around African Heritage Month.
Absolutely. It was a great achievement. Other people had advocated, to establish African Heritage Month before me, but it was never successful in New York. and Connecticut. So when I was a chair, of the advisory, uh, in Diaz years, so I was able to, to advocate, for African Heritage Month. So that's when Ruben Diaz actually signed off for it, and then he approved the African Heritage Month. He issued a proclamation proclaiming September as African Heritage Month. So it was actually my idea. I'm the one who established African Heritage Month in the Bronx, you know, and that was a big
That's
achievement for me. I have the letter, the first letter that we submitted to the
amazing.
Bronx Borough president, and so eventually our friend Famoud pushed it to the mayor's office. So that's when Bill de Blasio started doing his own African Heritage Month also. So since then, since Bill de Blasio, he's been doing it, and the new mayor has been doing it, and the Bronx Borough president has been doing it, the Brooklyn Borough president, when Eric Adam was there, was celebrating African Heritage Month also. And eventually, as AIC, we started, pushing African Heritage Month on our capacity also, since every organization can do it. We all, can organize African Heritage Month events. So we decided to do it. This year is going to be our 5th year, and every year we honor our leaders, community leaders, young leaders, the nurses, the first responders, essential workers, doctors. There was a year. The first year we honored about 60 people or 65 people. The year that followed, we honored about 70 people. And then after that, and then after that, and then last year, it was a little less. We honored about 20 something, 25 people, because we make sure that if we honor you, you deserve it. So we started off strong. We still continuing strong. And these recognitions, we try to push the city council or the Senate or the Congress to issue citations or proclamations to our leaders so that our community members can be recognized for the work and the contribution they have made to this experience as immigrants. Living in the U.S., living in New York, New Jersey, Connecticut. Everybody's always doing stuff, but nobody sees them. So during our event every year in September, we honor specific leaders and make sure that they know their contribution is noticed and recognized, and they are appreciated. So that's where we are. I'm looking forward to it again this year again.
Okay, and so thank you for that history lesson. I didn't even know that Mayor de Blasio started it was in his administration that it started. So I am appreciative to know that history. I was able to interact with Mayor de Blasio on many occasions, and definitely just an all around person, same as Eric Adams, just universal with everyone in this melting pot of a city. And most people are here in New York City. It's a very unique place. And there's unique challenges as well. So it's not just about the celebration, which is great. But one of the things that African Heritage Month allows is a greater voice and a greater platform to speak about issues facing the African community. What would you say is the most challenging issue that is facing the African immigrant community?
With the influx of the new immigrants, it's been really challenging, because it seems like every community is just, advocating for their own community instead of general, everybody, like in general. So, but it's been kind of difficult, especially immigrants. We have seen a lot of immigrants coming from Guinea, even tonight. Right before I got on the show, I was speaking to somebody that made it up to here. It's some kind of bravery. I told him, I was like, you guys are so brave. I can't imagine myself doing this, because we all know, South America is so, the road is so difficult, with all the challenges on the road. I mean, you don't know what you're gonna meet. So that's the first challenge they have to go through. Just getting into the U.S. first, and then when you get here, you have to find a job, and you have to find where you can stay. So if you're able to find a location, you're lucky. But if you know somebody here, then you connect to that person, and then you can maybe your transition will be easier. But the challenges are just basically getting healthcare, or getting specifically jobs, and you have to have a job in order to sustain yourself. You cannot depend on New York City, forever to just provide. You have to be able to find a job. So I say most immigrants are looking for work. They all come here to work. They don't come to America to just rely on different resources, which is temporary. But work is primary. The primary thing has been challenging without a work permit. Yeah, those are the challenges that they are facing. Without a work permit, like I said, it's going to be really extremely hard to find a good job. And without a good job, I don't know how you're going to stand on your own. How can you start supporting yourself and move on with your life, if you cannot work? So I think these are the challenges that the city is facing, because of the law that that makes it mandatory for them to provide housing. People, the city is overwhelmed. So the
So
city
are
is
you,
overwhelmed.
yeah. So are there any things, because I'm a very like think outside of the box kind of person. I have some suggestions, but they don't want to hire me, for certain
Right.
things. And it's like sometimes you feel like the answer is kind of obvious,
Right.
right? Because there's so many ways. I feel there's so many ways that you can address. If you're saying, if a person comes here, if it's the law in New York City, if you come here seeking shelter, you must be given shelter. At the
Right.
same time, they just changed the laws for Airbnb, saying that you cannot have short-term rentals, right? The
Yeah.
hotels are being affected, but now all of that space is not being filled, and there's migrants that are looking for housing. There's so many uh
Yeah.
there's so
Sometimes I
many
don't know.
places.
I really don't understand what they're doing sometimes, by passing some of these laws that should be able to help, and I don't understand sometimes why they do what they do. But I actually have some religious institutions, some mosques reach out to me to help them register, so that they can use their space to house the immigrant community. Some of them have been successful. Some of them are still in the process of applying, so that the city can use the mosques to
Mm-hmm,
house
mm-hmm,
the immigrant community.
mm-hmm.
So
Yes, there's
it's
so
been
much
chaotic.
space. Yes.
Yeah.
And I understand there's a lot of coordination that needs to happen. And that's one thing that New York City has not been the best with. There's been numerous complaints, and I think across the country, just about, how agencies work together across the board. Certain agencies and institutions do not speak to each other. There's no way to cross reference things. And I think that's a very big handicap, because there's so much things that can happen if coordinated properly. And the hotels now are also been taking advantage, I should say, maybe that way, of the situation. They're getting paid to house a lot of migrants, right? So there's so many options that are available. And okay, they did the fast track, so many people will be getting their paperwork and different documentation that they need to work and things like that. In the meantime, people genuinely want to make a living, especially legally. And so things like the Brooklyn Bridge, where a lot of vendors started to utilize the space, realizing that it was a great economic hub. And then now that's been banned. So there's just, so many layers to this issue. And economics is probably one of the biggest, but it's not the only challenge facing the community. So we really have to come together, keep advocating. We want to keep growing AIC to get different people involved in the issue so we can address it. And it's not just about the immediate issues, but we also want to make it better for the next generations. Right? That's really the goal. The next generation of people who may want to come here, so we can learn from this time period. We can learn from the mistakes in this time period, and improve the quality of life of not just immigrants, because obviously that's another big topic. A lot of attention are going towards the immigrants right now, but we don't want anyone to be left behind. We want to address all of the
I mean,
communities.
we all know, the immigrants contribute a lot to the country. I mean, we come here, we have the energy to work. We work hard. I personally came here when I was 17 years old. I went to high school here. I went to college. I put myself through college. I had nothing when I came here. It was my brother that sacrificed himself, to work so that me and my brother can go to school. So, when we were lucky, we had that support from my big brother, and shout out to him, because of his efforts, we're able to go to school. I have my bachelor's degree in political science, minor in history. My little brother has a bachelor's degree in computer science, and he recently got his master's degree. So we definitely come here to work, and but as far as the immediate problem that the city is facing, basically they just need to let people work, give people a working permit so that they'll be able to sustain themselves, work, and support themselves. But but that has not been going through, and hopefully that the federal government will be able to fast track the working permits for these migrants. They're here already. They want to establish themselves. I say most of the time, people don't come here just to stay. If they're able to go back, that's a plus too. If you give them a working permit and allow them to travel back and forth, that's going to be a boost to the economy. Instead of being stuck here for many years, you cannot go back, you cannot work. That makes the economy stagnant. But if you actually give them, the flexibility to work without even being, a U.S. citizen right away, but the flexibility to work and the flexibility to go back and forth and travel back, back home and come back, that's a plus for the airline companies, and the travel industries. So that means you can work and make
Mhm.
money and travel back and forth, and you
Yes.
can come back again. So that's another compromise that they can make, allowing people to travel, allowing people to work, and that will make things even better and flexible. So that's my advice to the mayor and everybody else that's listening. But
Yeah.
if you say no, people can just stay in the shelters, they cannot work, there is no work, you can't even go back. You're stuck here in the US. You can't even go back if you wanted to, you know, that freezes up everything. So but we'll see how things go. This is completely something new.
Mhm.
The influx it's been overwhelming to the city. I can't imagine what other cities are going through. If New York City is going through this alone, I can't imagine what other cities are going through. So, but people come here because they're facing hardship in their countries. That's the original cause that why people are leaving, because the economy is bad, and they cannot find work, they cannot sustain themselves. I always say, as human beings, we have the right to move around. You know, you have the right to move around if where you are things are not okay. It's a human right for people to move around on this earth if where you are things are not okay. So nobody can blame anybody for moving around, for coming here. We know you're looking for a better life. We all came here to look for a better life. So we and until the end of times, people keep doing that. So they might as well just come up with a better plan that makes it work much better.
Yes, and
That's about it.
many times, yeah, and many times, and we're not gonna say 100% of the time, because there are bad actors, bad people in every community, but there are the majority of people coming here looking for opportunities, looking to build something better. And so their intention is to not only better themselves, but in that they're bettering the place, the environment that they're in, right? So naturally, it better is going to better this country. So there's been a lot of investment, a lot of support. I do want to say that um, there it isn't all bad, right? Because they're still able to get here, right? They're still able, in many cases, be housed in a quick time frame. There's meals and clothes, and people, regular people, have been amazing with donating and volunteering and supporting. So we don't want to uh, overlook that, right? And we want to also,
Absolutely.
and we also want to say that there, as a community, there's more that we could be doing as well. The business community, if you have ways to hire people and you can get them on a 1099 contract type situation at your business, you know how to get an ITIN going, you can help them get that number so that they can pay taxes and things like that. I would encourage things like that. Like, we don't have to sit on the sidelines and leave it all up to the government. Right? And that's the argument of the Republican Party. It's like, small government, let the people take care of it. Let the people figure it out. And sometimes you really just need both. You need the government. You need something structured. You need something funded. You need something professional, let's just say, right? Bring certain things to the table. But there's also great value in the community coming together to provide
No,
services.
definitely. The business community can do much, can do more, but they have to adhere to the law. They have to obey the law because they don't want to be penalized, or people saying that they're breaking the law by hiring people that don't have the work permit. So that's kind of difficult. If you get caught, I don't know what's the penalty for hiring somebody that doesn't have the working permit. I'm sure
Right.
the penalty is very severe. That's why the business community, they're actually trying to protect themselves.
Yes.
But
Yes.
but the immigrant community is very resourceful. They
Mm-hmm.
able to they will survive. They will always manage to survive. I saw a young man on an interview 2 days ago. He was explaining how he got here, and he was in Times Square selling hats. He was happy. He was happy to be here. He said, "Yes, I'm selling hats. I'm happy to be here. It's been hard, but I'm here." So the man, the guy was, just selling hats, just to survive in Times Square. So the immigrant community, we always manage to survive with a working permit or with no working permit. We manage to survive somehow. But it will be easier for them to everybody in a work permit so that they can sustain themselves, so that they can support themselves, instead of relying on city resources. And even those
Yeah.
resources are so stretched thin. I don't even know how long they're keeping people now. I heard last time I checked, it was 30 days. The city can provide you shelter for 30 days. Last time I checked, I don't know even how long is it now. We've been interacting with so many families. I personally, I'm mentoring a family of three. I try to tell them what to do sometimes, how to get some resources. They've been here for a long time. And like I said, even tonight, I was speaking to another lady, and she's having a hard time to find work. And she came with her daughter. So, I don't know how she made it, and it's amazing. Now she's here. She cannot find work. At least she has somewhere to stay, but you know, we just have to send more prayers and do what we can. That's all we can do for now, but we'll see.
Yes, absolutely. So we're going to take a short musical break. We'll be right back. This is WHCR 90.3 FM.
Damn, Drew, this is official. I'm paying homage to the ones who paved the way. That's what's up. That's what's up. I'm paying homage to the ones who paved the way. That's what's up. That's what's up. What's the U.S. without us? Gotta let it know that it's all official. What's the U.S. without us? Our contribution to this here gotta be known. Where you at here? You won't know this back here. Time to take a stand here. Proud to be a black man. Where you at here? You won't know this back here. Time to take a stand here. Proud to be a black man. Let me shine some light on you. Those who really that confused. Louis Latimer improved electric lamps we now use. If Jim Masslinger didn't build the lasting machine, would it have durable shoes on our feet? There's more to me, more to you. Take it back to the roots, to the truth. Like John Standing making fridges cool. I'm trying to elevate the mind like Alex Miles. Take notes from Ben Benico on understanding time. Protect the eyes from all the lies like Pete Johnson. I wanna touch the hearts like Daniel Williams, turn a heart surgeon. I'm giving homage to the ones who passed away. Lawrence Ray, we gon' make sure things just aren't swept away. What's the U.S. without us? That's what's up. That's what's up. What's the U.S. without us? That's what's up. That's what's up. Where you at here? You won't know this back here. Time to take a stand here. Proud to be a black man. Where you at here? You won't know this back here. Time to take a stand here. Proud to be a black man. Yeah, that's what's up. 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 So keep in mind of the things that's minor, like typewriters, lawnmowers, hairbrushes, mailboxes, doorknobs that turn the thought process. About progress. Imagine if we all was conscious. Black man. Fountain pens, pencil sharpeners, a black man. Print and press, stethoscope, a black man. If our hair were only good for crime, a backhand will be printed on the grill like William Purvey's handstand. They tell me chill, we were all made cold. Like trucks with air conditions developed by Frederick Jones. When we talk black, speak more than slavery. Maybe we can show all the things that built our country. Like cellular phones with Henry Sampson. When you stop by a traffic light by Jared Morgan. Gotta take what is ours and own it. Cause we kings and queens didn't know, they gotta know this. What's the U.S. without us? Gotta let it know that it's all official. What's the U.S. without us? Our contribution to this here gotta be known. Where you at here? You won't know this back here.
Welcome back, family. This is WHCR 90.3 FM. This is PJ's show, and your host here is Pojanee PJ Fleury. Thank you so much for joining us once again for another edition of this platform. We're speaking with MORY KOUYATE, who is the founder and president of the African Immigrants Commission of New York and Connecticut. And we were discussing before the musical break the issues and different things that is going on in respect to the new immigrants arriving, the migrant workers, the immigrants that have come to New York City within it's been about a year, right? They've been coming in at large numbers. And I just want to mention, because even myself, even though I am involved in the African community, I just seeing the information from the news, following the information that's been given on the platforms that I watch, it seemed as though it was only Latinos that were coming from South America, from Central America, but there's a lot of immigrants. Excuse me. There's a lot of Africans that are in this bunch, and I didn't realize that. I actually had to go and do research on it. But if you can elaborate, and I know it's a lot of Senegalese immigrants. Shed some light on that, please, brother Maury.
No, absolutely. There has been a huge influx of Africans coming from Africa, flying into South America, and to reach the U.S. So some of them spend 10 days, some of them spend a month, 4 weeks, basically on the road, and it's amazing. I always tell, every time I meet somebody from Africa, I always tell them, I said, look, this is so brave. I cannot imagine myself, going, making making the trip. So, they eventually get here, and when you come to the border and get arrested, who knows what that process is, how long they spend in detention, and until they get shipped to Los Angeles or New York City, sometimes Jersey. So, it's been a surprise. Before it was just a few, now, and but there's been more and more, which is actually extremely expensive, because I hear people are spending $15,000 just to, for the whole trip, just to get here. I was amazed, I always ask questions because I want to know. I'm always interviewing people and asking questions. How much did it cost you to get here? Some people are spending $15,000 for the whole trip. I'm like, if what about if you just invest that back home and start a business, but it's actually amazing. All those people you see coming here, they spend a lot of money just to get here. Don't just see them, with on the flip flops and like, just wearing the clothes on their back, but they actually spend a lot of money just to make it across and get here. Maybe if maybe people that live in South America already, is a little bit easier. They don't have to spend that much money. But people that are on the other side of the Ocean Atlantic, you have to find it, find a flight to get here, to get in South America first, and sometimes walk or take the bus, walk through the jungle, with all the danger. It is amazing, it's the bravery is off the charts. I don't think I can do it, but that's what I
Yeah,
have.
there was a story about a Indian family that they were able to get money together. It was mother, father, two children, and they actually flew into Canada. Is this service that helps people to get into the U.S. So they tell them take a plane to Canada and then walk across the border, right? So the opposite way. Unfortunately, they came on a very, very cold night. And of course, Canada is notorious. It was even a snowstorm that night that they attempted to walk across the border. I think they died. They froze to death. I think they were so close to the border too. They were like about maybe something like 300 yards or something like that. They had,
Wow.
yeah, they had.
I mean, why not stay in Canada?
I mean, at that point, but yeah, why?
Yeah,
That's something to analyze. Really,
yeah,
what is the driving appeal for people to specifically come here, where you're risking it all? You're spending so much money. You're investing, not even just spending, right? This is an investment that they're seeing that they
absolutely.
can make into to
No,
be here. So
I just think the US just needs to address this issue, at the ground level, at the base level. What is causing people to leave the country? Is the hardship, is the hard economy, is not being able to feed your family, take care of your family, you know? So the US has to implement, international policies that will, enable other countries to flourish also, not just to benefit the US companies, but, you have to, like the way they've been doing it with China, have more factories in South America. So maybe that will be able to capture more people to just work right there. They have to let other people take care of their families also. Implement policies that doesn't just favor the U.S. Implement policies that is fair for everybody, so that people can stay where they are and take care of their family. I think that will significantly reduce the people, the trips and all these people, all this movement, the exodus that we're seeing right now. You know, and I know that it happens. It's been happening throughout U.S. history, with Italians and Irish coming from coming through Ellis Island, in New York. So that influx was there. Now we having this new influx of immigrants. But they had their reason for escaping, but you know, and I'm sure it was economic reasons, sometimes, religious persecutions and stuff. But the new immigrants, might not be facing religious persecution, but they're facing economic hardship. And that's the common theme that's coming from everybody. And the US just has to do more, to, they can protect the border, but at the same time have policies that create jobs for other people internationally. I think that will reduce the migrant crisis, internationally.
and people need to tell the truth. People need to tell the truth about there's people in America that they said that we say that there is a poverty crisis, right, in America, because many people are living paycheck to paycheck, and if they miss like maybe two paychecks, they will be in poverty. They will fall below the poverty federal poverty line, where there's a distinction where, okay, where someone has and someone is labeled quote unquote poor. So there's some problems in terms of how money management is being taught in this country. Certain things, there was a time period where America was not strong academically on the world stage. So there's certain challenges within the country itself. But you will see people that live in, let's just say, low income neighborhood, but they have nice clothes. They have, maybe a car, maybe even a nice car. And they're saying, oh, it's because, I'm in America. No. Okay. You bought that on credit. Okay. Or even on lease, is being leased. You're making payments on that. That's not, owning. That's not, real quote unquote money, right? That's materialism. And sometimes it's not as cracked up as it seems. You might be living, above your means to just live within the society. So there's different layers to it, and I don't think people really understand that, right? When you think about what happens in Haiti, when people like myself, where people even Haitians that have left the country and maybe lived in the U.S. for a little while and go back to Haiti, they figure, okay, you're rich, so now I'm going to kidnap you and I'm going to ask your family to give me $500,000, you know? And there's people that have to sell their whole house. They've had to, go in the community. The church is raising money for weeks just to try to get one person, out of a kidnap situation. So people have this fantasy about all Americans, about America in general. And I think that bubble needs to be popped a little bit.
It's really difficult out there, to work hard in the US and try to go back and invest, buy a home, to have to sell that home because somebody decided to kidnap your kids or your family member. That's very sad because we all know how hard people work, day in and day out, sometimes 7 days a week working. So that's highly disappointing, but it's something that people have to deal with. So
Yes.
we just hope that things improve.
Yes.
No problem. Absolutely.
Yeah, we keep working towards that goal. And so one of the ways that we continue to work towards the goal is to understand our history, go back, reflect on those that came before us, the different contributions that have been made. So Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday, obviously celebrated January 15th, and AIC is having a virtual event in honor of MLK Day, and we are exploring the African perspectives of the MLK legacy. Talk a little bit about the event and please give the details as well.
Absolutely. I think this is a very important event to actually hear the viewpoint of the immigrant community, how they see the contributions of civil rights leaders like Martin Luther King. So you can call me at 917-500-5440 if you want to be a part of the panel. If you want to, if you want to be a part of the African Immigrants Commission, if you want to partner with us, that's fine. But we're gonna be live on Millennium TV, so I'll be sharing the link with everybody. It's gonna be live on our page, on our Facebook page, the African Immigrants Commission, of New York and Connecticut Incorporated, on our Facebook page. So you can just reach out to me or email me at africanimmigrants.commission@gmail.com. I can send you the link if you want to see, the conversation. So it should be very interesting.
And every year, AIC does an event, mostly every month. There's our signature events, so to speak. And of course, we do a lot of collaborations. But in February, annually, we do the Black History Month oral storytelling event, a virtual event with a griot that provides a oral story of our history. It's an amazing event. In March, we do Women's History Month. We will be doing an event to honor the International Day of Women as well. That's always something that we do. But in March, we also do a financial literacy event. In April, we do the Navigating the U.S. Immigration System. In May, we focus on mental health for the Mental Health Awareness Month. And we also do another financial literacy workshop. This year, we'll be focusing on investing in the stock market. In June, we'll be having our family law workshop covering child custody, child support, and those types of issues. We have legal professionals that come on and provide a presentation and also provide a Q&A session. In July, we'll be doing our real estate seminar, how to buy a home. In August, we will be in partnership as well with Brown Eyes Magazine and Holistic Harlem. We've been holding the annual health and wellness fair, and we usually do that in August. It'll be our 4th year this year, 2024. In September, of course, we'll be doing the African Heritage Month Parade and Festival. And in December, we'll be having a fire safety workshop. And so, yeah, a full year calendar of events. It's always been very powerful, well attended, very impactful for the community. So, Maury, thank you. Thank you so much for coming on. Thank you for the work that you do. And I just want to make sure to give the contact information again, if you can share your phone number again.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for going over the schedule. Yes, my number is 917-500-5440. 917-500-5440. It's better to just text me. That way I know, because I get a lot of calls that sometimes I don't want to pick up. Because if I don't recognize the number, you can text me and I'll respond, or you can email us at africanimmigrantscommission@gmail.com. Thank you so much.
Yes, awesome. Thank you again. And yes, and thank you again. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for supporting this platform and the work that I've been doing. Of course, you know, we vice versa. We've always been supportive of each other. And I'm so happy that we met and we've had these wonderful opportunities to serve the community together.
Absolutely. No problem.
Yes, of course.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. This is WHCR 90.3 FM. This is PJ Show. Thanks again for listening. Peace.